All right, Shalom, Makim. Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and safety to the elect, laboring around the four corners of the earth, giving all diligence to make your calling of election sure. Shalom to the sincere sisters. It's the brother Tazawam here, and I just want to touch on the topic I was meditating on earlier today. Finally got the chance to sit down and really put everything together, but I just wanted to go into the topic of you know positions within the camp and how you have to maintain your position and not step outside your boundaries, and the importance of the order within the body. I did a video on this not too long ago, but it's not going to be the same type of video, but just want to expound on how when you have a position within the body, you can't supersede, all right, your lot, or go above and beyond the measure that was given unto you, because then it becomes disorder. So right here, I got the word officer in the etymology, etym online. All right, and I'm gonna start out by reading the etymology of the word officer. It says one who holds an office, officer, official. All right, an officer, a service, a duty. Okay, the etymology of the word officer is one who holds an office. So within the body, whether you have a head of the camp, first in command, second in command, third in command, you got captains, you got priests, all right, you got sergeant of arms, you got men that's over uploading the videos, you got men that's over making signs. Whatever your office is within the body, you have to maintain your office, man. All right, don't go above and beyond what was given to you in the spirit, because that's going to be equivalent to being insubordinate, man. All right. So I'm gonna start off with this scripture here. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. All right. So us brothers, as you know, whether you're a camp head or whether second or third or fourth in command, our duty is to make sure that our churches are well ordered and ran properly. Make sure that brothers is whatever if brothers' duty within the church is to upload the camp videos. The top brothers in the camp are supposed to be overseers of that particular brother's office. And that brother can't just jump and say, "Hey, I don't. I'm gonna pass this order in the camp. All right, yeah. Make sure y'all get to camp at 1 o'clock and not check in with the brothers that's over them. You stepping outside of your office. All right, and the Most High deals with order. All right, so whatever office or particular lot that you've been given in the camp, just maintain that, man. Don't try to force yourself, self promote yourself, man. All right, you gotta master the lot or the office that you have before you can jump to the next stages of this thing, man. And that's one thing about Jake. Jake don't like to grow properly. You know, they want to grow according to their own time. You got to grow according to the Lord, wherever the Lord sees fit, man. So this is verse 2. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. So whatever spirit the camp head got, or whoever is running these churches, that's the spirit that's going to trickle down on the rest of the body, man. That's going to be the spirit that they replicate, so to speak, because you are their leader in the flesh. So that means what? We being a leader or being a man with a particular rank, office, all right, within the body, you have to be very meticulous on how you lead the sheep and lead the flock of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. You can't just be like the apostle went into, being careful what you're saying and what you're doing. All right, you can't just be spewing anything out your mouth. Having just a foul mouth. Every other word that come out your mouth is a cuss word or some kind of vulgar speech. The scriptures say, let all things be done unto the edification of the church, man. All right. So in this thing, man, you gotta examine yourself to see if you leading the brotherhood right, because there's going to be more brothers that's going to come into this thing, man. There's going to be more people that's going to come into this truth. So before that happens, you have to do a self-examination and make sure that you're qualified enough to lead more men properly. All right. But if you can't maintain your current lot, how you think you're gonna get promoted to another lot? You ain't gonna do nothing but stink it up, man. You know? It says in verse 3. Salaki, I'm gonna read verse 2 again. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. All right. So the judge, when you go to a court, you have the judge, and the officers are the ones that penalize the people. All right. And the people go before who? Before the judge, and then the judgment comes down. So the officers know um, certain judgments that the judge likes to hand down to the citizens. So they pull people over based on the judge. You know, you have some judges where they real strict on seatbelt violations. All right. So within that jurisdiction, the officers, all right, if they see that people are riding around without their seatbelts on within that particular jurisdiction, they're going to write them a ticket because they know that the judge hates violators of wearing a seatbelt. All right. So as the judge of the people, so is himself. All right. It says and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So basically, however you carry yourself, that's what's going to be passed down to the younger officers, man, the younger brothers, the captains. So the spirit that you put out, be careful what you're putting out into the air, man. You know, don't show symptoms or signs of disorderly conduct, because disorderly conduct really means that you don't respect authority. You know, you have a problem with the with the current authority. So you undermine what the man that's over you in the spirit has to say. So it leads to what? To insubordination. All right. Or you wanting to do things according to how you want to do it. And that's not how it works in the truth. All right. You can't be mixing and meddling into all other camps' affairs and what they got going on, man. You got to stick and deal with your camp and your office unless it's appointed unto you to deal with other churches. If it's not appointed unto you to deal or be a bishop over other churches, then you deal with your jurisdiction, wherever the Spirit got you at. Now, I got the word bishop here in the etymology, all right? Old English bisciop, bishop, high priest, from late Latin episcopos, from Greek episkopos, all right? Watcher, overseer, all right? A title for various government officials later taken over in the church sense. Epi means over, scopos means watch. That's where you get the word scope from. So when you're a bishop, all right, you only watch, or you can only oversee what's in your jurisdiction. All right. You can't go into if you work for the county police. All right. If you work for this county police force, you can't go to another county and pull people over and write them tickets or arrest them in another county because you're outside of your jurisdiction. All right. That's the same thing in its truth. Don't step outside your jurisdiction. Don't step outside of what's been appointed unto you, man, because it's going to lead to insubordination, and the Most High deals with order. All right. And that's you may think it's a light deal, but it's actually a major deal, because we have to operate and we have to move as a well-established government. All right. We have to move in that manner. We can't move in an insubordinate style, man, because that rubs off on the rest of the brothers. And the rest of the brothers would think that that's okay to do so. All right. It says a guardian or protector. Now I got here, this is 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1, and we're going to read a lot of these scriptures. All right. This is 1 Timothy 3 and 1. It says, this is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire for good work. Now, like we just read, the word bishop means what? An overseer. All right. Like it says here, as episkopos. All right. Episkopos. Investigation, inspection, visitation. All right. The act by which the Most High looks into and searches out the ways, deeds, characters of men in order to adjudge them their lot accordingly, whether joyous or sad. So a bishop's lot is an overseer of a particular group of people, and his lot is to do what? Watch for character flaws, watching for strengths in brothers, and be like, hey brother, you should be over this, you should be over that. According to what I see, you should be over this and you should be over that. That's what a bishop is. All right, a man who watches and guides over the church. All right. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, nor striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous. All right, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. So these right here is what Timothy is giving a list of characteristics that a bishop must have in order to fulfill that lot. All right, because a lot of a bishop is a very, very important lot and a good work. So you have to make sure that you have those characteristics within you before you can even become a bishop. All right, you can't make yourself a bishop. You can't make yourself a bishop, and it's going to tell you why. Verse 6. Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he falleth into the condemnation of the devil. Verse 7. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without. All right. So if you desire an office of a bishop, you have to have a good report amongst men. All right. Yeah, this brother, he's on this, he's on top of that. He be on top of this, he be on fire, he doing his videos, he always at camp, he's very charitable. All right. And as you continue to develop those characteristics, the Most High will see it fit for you to be an overseer in whatever particular lot that you in, man. But you can't supersede. You can't go beyond your limitations, man. All right? Because that'll cause you to get in trouble. And like I said, usually when men do things like that, a lot of times it's youthful mistakes. But if it's repetitive, if they repetitively show signs of insubordination and stepping outside of their jurisdiction, is because they don't believe that the men that the Lord set up over them are capable of doing the job. So they get self-motivated and self-willed to do things on their own because that's how they want things done. So all in all, man, you gotta check yourself in this thing. Check yourself, and that's another thing, man. In this truth, man, you should be constantly examining yourself. You shouldn't be walking around acting as if you don't have any thing wrong about yourself. You should always be examining your spirit, peeling back the layers of demons or things that you got going on within you that you got to purge out. You should constantly be doing that, man. Now I'm gonna get the etymology of the word jurisdiction. All right, it says an administration of justice. All right. Administration of justice, jurisdiction, law, right. Now this is what I wanted to get. This is the point. It says extent or range of administrative power. See, you have an actual range of power that you can't go beyond, man. All right. You have an extent that you can't go beyond. I can't put an order out and tell all the brothers in GMS, hey, do 4 videos a week. That's not my jurisdiction. That's not my lot. That's the apostles and the elders' lot to put out orders for the whole congregation. All right, that's their lot. That's not my lot. I can only appoint certain things over the camp that Yahweh Shema Shai has me over. That's that, and that is that simple. If I go above and beyond my jurisdiction, all right, that can equal a penalty. All right, that right there is not tolerable in any law. All right, you can't go beyond your rank of power, so to speak. All right, if you the third or fourth in command, all right, you're supposed to be checking in with the brothers that's over you. You're supposed to be making sure that the men in the camp is maintaining their lot, maintaining they work, doing whatever they got to do. You're supposed to be building with them brothers. If brothers go off, or you're supposed to correct them or admonish them. All right. But when it comes to certain things pertaining to the camp head or the second in command or the third in command, you got to let them deal with it because it's not your jurisdiction to do so. All right. Now, if you have certain recommendations and ideas, I mean that's always welcomed. That's always opened. But when it comes down to just doing certain things and finalizing certain things within the camp, you got to check in, man. You know. But in this society, we've always been taught in a disorderly fashion. So a lot of times that will leak over into the truth, disorderly conduct, self-willed, and things of that nature. You don't want to move like that in this truth because eventually it catches up to you, man. You ain't in this thing, man. You ain't doing nothing that the Most High ain't gonna catch, man. The Most High catching, He sees it all, man. So be on your P's and Q's. Whatever lot was given to you, just deal with that lot, man. Just deal with that lot. But that be Jake. That be Jake problem sometimes, man. That's how Jake do. It says domain over which a legal or judicial authority extends. All right. So if you a local city police, you can't pull people or write tickets to people that's in another city outside of your jurisdiction, man. You can't do it. It's against the law, man. And the Most High is about order. How about Shema Shai is about order, man. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 28. It says the Most High have set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. So the Most High got plenty of different offices within the church, man. So whatever church or whatever office that you've been given within that church, don't step outside of those boundaries until the Spirit actually promotes you, man. Until the Spirit actually increases you to go to that next level, man. You can't self-will yourself through this truth. You're going to crash and burn every time. And Jake that does these things like that, it shows how unwise you are, and how you got to scale it back and do things properly, man. Now if you make a mistake in the Spirit, does that make you wicked? No, man. Nah, you just made a innocent mistake. That's what happens. Brothers make innocent mistakes sometimes. But it's up to the bishops, the overseers, to clean up the stuff and don't let it continue to manifest within the camp. It says, are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles? Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? See, do all men do these things? No, man. Some brothers have been allotted particular gifts of the Spirit that you have to utilize, man. So whatever the gift that was allotted unto you, just deal with that, man. Whatever position or rank that you got within the camp, just deal with that. When it comes to finalizing certain things, and you supposed to check in with your tops, man. Before I do anything or make any major move within the camp, I have to check in with the elders and the apostles. I can't just all of a sudden pop up in Chicago teaching with them brothers without calling up top and saying, "Hey, is it okay if I, or I'm going to be up in Chicago? Everything cool? Yeah, you can. All right, you got to deal with stuff in order, man." But Jake, we've been taught, in this society, really not to have respect, especially the Israelite man, not to really I wouldn't say respect, but be mindful of positions of ourselves, So sometimes it'll cause us to feel like we can handle it better than he can handle it, and it'll cause you, it'll put you in a tight situation, man. All right, verse 31. But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you a more excellent way. So you in this truth, man, you supposed to covet to prophesy, covet to teach, covet to have the gift of healing, covet to speak in tongues and do miracles and things. You're supposed to covet those things and build yourself up towards it. And when you get to that position where the Most High see you fit to do these things, then He'll give you that spiritual increase, man. But you gotta wait on the Lord to give you the increase. You can't give yourself an increase, man. The Most High gives the increase, like it tells you in 1 Corinthians the 3rd chapter. We just laborers. The Most High is the one that gives the increase, man. So, humble down and just follow this thing for what it is, man. You can't be worried about all the problems and beefs that's going on in all the other camps within GMS. Look what this brother did, and look what this brother said. Look at his haircut. Look what he got. Like, come on, man. That's way you stepping way outside your boundaries, man. If it's an issue or a situation within another camp, then let their camp head deal with it, or let them brothers deal with it. Now, if it's something concerning the doctrine, then you do what? You check in with the camp head, then let your camp head check in with whomever has a flaw within the doctrine. All right, or go check in with the apostles. It's a way to do this thing, man, to where it won't be insubordinate. When you think you the big dog on campus, man, it causes you to do things according to who you think you are, according to your puffed up pride, man. Just be humble, man. You see certain things going on that don't concern you. Just let it be, man. Let the apostles and the elders in the other churches deal with certain matters. But when it comes to what's going on within your own church, you just deal with whatever lot you have, man. When Moses set up captains of hundreds and captains of tens and captains of thousands, those captains of 50s, they can't jump over Moses, man. They're going way outside their jurisdiction. What, did you check in with your top captain? Did your top captain check in with that captain? Those are questions that's going to be asked. You're like, no, well, how you going to jump over all of them and come here then? Let me get this last scripture. This is 1 Maccabees 3:55. It says, and after this, Judas ordained captains over the people, even captains over thousands and over hundreds and over 50s and over tens. So a captain over 100, all right, that's his jurisdiction. That is his domain of rule, all right. So he has 100 men that's under him, and he has to give orders to those 100 men. All right. Now those 100 men, they can't supersede the top man and just go all the way to the top, or be like, nah, disregard that. We're gonna do it like this. Man, you gotta check in to your captain. That's how this thing gotta go. You gotta stay within your jurisdiction, man. All right. So, I just wanted to put that out there because, like I said, it was early this morning. I was actually looking into this. Just reading the scriptures and stuff, and I was looking up these words, and I finally got a chance to really put it down. But just be mindful of that, man, because you see that a lot, especially in Israel, man. Where men really find a hard time respecting other men's personalities, and all they want to do is just zone in on that man's flaws and what he ain't doing right, and not what he is doing right. Well, a brother may have some flaws about his character, and his personality, but you got to know how to work with that brother, man, and especially if that brother wants to be worked with. Because if that's the case, man, everybody got some dirt on them. Everybody got something that can always be brought out, but that ain't what it's about, man. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and safety to the elect, men, women, and children. Shalom.